really nice to have some time with you, and after years of knowing VentureOut, it's really a pleasure. I'm Natalie Kathleen. I'm the founder and CEO of Jibs. We're a sneaker shoe that's based out of production in a small family factory in Brazil, sold mostly through the US and internationally. That would be a huge summary of my style of why and how I became an entrepreneur. It's really a matter of doing something and having an idea, and who knows what comes out of it. And Powerful Low, there was no business plan. There was no, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. It was a moment in time where the right people and the right opportunity came in front of me, and I had an ask of, hey, can you help me get some more people like you in a room? And I said, you know what? It's been a while since I've done anything engaging my network. Let's think about how naturally people want to come out, and it's really just opening up the conversation. And it doesn't matter where you start. The Powerful Low is the simpleness behind, if you say hello, it engages a conversation. And so from my history, I mean, in New York is where this was that I started it. My best friend is from an elevator that I met going to a factory. I have another person that I would do weekly coffees with who was a neighbor across a window of an alley of where we lived. It was really just, hey, everyone has something in common. If we come together and we all share this same sort of positive energy and desire to make life enjoyable, let's talk about it, and let's see who else we can meet and what else we can do. And maybe there's a little power of coming together and putting our minds at something that's meanwhile. I love the word harmony. I think in anyone's life, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, whether you're a man in business, there's always this balancing act. And I struggled for a long time trying to balance everything from personal to business to what I do in a day. There's so much. I want to do everything. Once I let go of balance and I switched it with harmony, things just flowed so much smoother. And so harmony has really been something. It's kind of like imperfectly perfect. If you play the balance, I would, enjoy a weekend of going for brunches, eating lots of good food, and I would go run miles and miles and miles, trying to balance. That's exhausting. Instead, if I said, you know what, hey, if I'm enjoying myself and I feel good, let's just let it go, because if I do what it really makes me feel good, eventually the harmony of letting it be will balance itself out. Every day I'm learning on a personal journey. Every day I'm learning about shoes. Every day I'm learning about marketing, every, I would say, division of the business. And when I started early on, I kind of thought, I can't wait till that day that I only do one thing every day. Well, that never happens. It never happens. It just changes on the 12 things you do in a minute. So the biggest one that I've learned with the harmony would be, at the end of the day, turn off. There is a new day tomorrow. And I could kick myself and, I have to get this done, and I still fall trap to this. But a big learning curve has been just allow things to start fresh the next day. And, every time I do that, it helps me in my day to, learn. There's no magic formula, I think, to learn what's most important. And if I handle those harder tasks earlier on in the day, by the time the evening comes, there's probably a lot of little things that haven't gotten done, but they're not that important that I can then put them on to the next day. And so there's this at ease that's really had to come out of learning, and mistakes happen, hands down, all the time. So it has to be this let go, learn from them. Don't just let them pass by and say, I made a mistake, I hate myself for it, and move on. No, I made a mistake. Why? What can I learn? What can I do next time? Okay, now move on. So it's a lot, again, all that swirling of different things every day, running a business. If for me to be able to learn to deal with it and to choose what I spend my mind thinking on has been really important. And so so the first engagements with VentureOut were actually in a room, I think the first one might have been me speaking about getting set up in New York, because I'm originally from Vancouver, dealing with manufacturing, dealing with importing, everything from visas to being setting up with business that's an international business in New York. And that was me speaking to a room of, I think, entrepreneurs from Europe of somewhere in one of the groups. What that then led is that probably a year later, as I had started developing Jibs and I found my path and I knew what I needed to assist in my growth, I then went and joined one of the VentureOut groups, and I took part in a direct-to-consumer marketing-led week-long course. And so it was really interesting to have both sides, to be able to be involved for my expertise, but then also to be involved to learn from others' expertise. I think that's a beautiful symmetry that's kind of happened in what's been built with VentureOut. My mindset on this has actually shifted in the last while. I probably really pushed, don't call me female, I'm just a person. I pushed that for a long time. I'm a tough little girl that played every single sport. I fall over, I get bruised, I jump up. I want to be there right beside the men, the kids, the boys as a young one. So I never wanted to differentiate female. However, now that I'm getting into my stride or wherever I am, there's two sides that I think it is important for us females to be proud to be doing what we're doing. One, most important, maybe if I wasn't who I was as a kid, I wouldn't have had that inner strength that lets me push so hard. And I think having a visual for young girls to know, hey, we're out there, do it. If you have any inkling to act on your ideas and to go and test and be risky and try things, I think it's so important to have females in the front line. Females that are grounded, that are kind, that are generous is so important. And then in the other side, I think there's an appreciation that there's a lot of men in the industry that I'm in footwear. So this has been my second business in a different category, always accessories and fashion, but footwear. There has been a lot of men running the decision making. It's really nice to see women coming up in it, me being one of them, a large group of women CEOs in big companies, a lot more females starting footwear brands. And I think we do need to learn and educate everyone on making sure it's an equal conversation, and that we understand how we can all succeed in what we're doing. Would this matter in 5 years? There's been so many times that I've been frustrated with where I'm at in the business, little things, big things, and it's amazing that I don't remember what any of those are. Maybe a few big decisions are still there that, it went this way, it went the other way, but really, I was going back to that letting go. And if I would have asked myself, would this matter in 5 years? I probably would have been a little more lighthearted about a lot of situations. 2020 for me is the year of foundation. I love a vision. I love to ideate on what I'm doing in 20 years and, these grand schemes. And 2020 has really been a moment to set my feet on the ground and say, hey, my vision is there. My vision is stronger than ever. If I can build the foundation, as I'm building the foundation, really enjoy it and be understanding that this will allow me to then build on and on, I can get there. So I have to keep my conversation again is telling myself, what's my goal for 2020? Let's remember that. Everything else will come. Let's keep those ideas going, but let's focus on what we can achieve in sales, in operating, in structures, and really get a nice foundation to grow off of.